Welcome back to my story Living with Lupus. I'm Susan Hendricks, and today we're diving into a fascinating and often misunderstood topic, benign ethnic neutropenia, or BEN, and its connection to the Duffy antigen. This is especially personal for me because I recently found out that I carry the Duffy antigen. So let's break it all down, what it is, its history, and what it means for those of us living with chronic illnesses. Let's get started. First, let's talk about benign ethnic neutropenia, or BEN. BEN is a condition characterized by lower than average neutrophil counts in the blood. Neutrophils are a type of white blood cell that helps fight infection. However, in people with BEN, this lower count does not mean the immune system is weak or that they are more susceptible to infections. This condition is most commonly seen in people of African, Middle Eastern, and some Mediterranean descent, and is considered benign, meaning it doesn't typically cause health problems. But here's the catch. Many people with BEN are misdiagnosed with neutropenia, a more severe condition that actually does increase infection risk. This can lead to unnecessary medical interventions, which is why awareness and proper understanding are so important. Recently, I found out that I carry the Duffy antigen. So what does that mean? The Duffy antigen is a protein found on red blood cells, and its presence, or absence, plays a big role in BEN. Most individuals of African descent have a specific variant called Duffy null, Phi-Phi, which is associated with BEN and offers protection against Plasmodium vivax malaria. That's right, this genetic trait actually evolved as a defense mechanism against malaria. This discovery helped me better understand my own blood work and why my neutrophil counts have always been slightly lower than the standard reference range. If you've ever been told you have low neutrophils and you're of African or Middle Eastern descent, you might want to check if you carry the Duffy antigen too. Now let's take a quick dive into the history of the Duffy antigen. It was first identified in the 1950s when scientists were studying blood groups and their role in disease resistance. The Duffy antigen got its name from a patient, Mr. Duffy, whose blood was used in the research that led to its discovery. What's fascinating is that in regions where malaria was historically widespread, particularly in sub-Saharan Africa, populations developed the Duffy null phenotype, Phi-Phi. This genetic adaptation made it nearly impossible for Plasmodium vivax, one of the malaria-causing parasites, to infect red blood cells, essentially serving as a natural defense against malaria. However, in medical settings today, the absence of the Duffy antigen is linked to benign ethnic neutropenia, which can sometimes confuse doctors who are unfamiliar with how it affects lab results. So, how do you know if you have BEN? Well, here's the thing, it usually doesn't cause symptoms. It's often found incidentally during routine blood tests. But let's go over the key points anyway. Signs and symptoms of BEN. No symptoms in most cases. Persistently low neutrophil count. No increased risk of infections, unlike other forms of neutropenia. Often misdiagnosed as a more serious blood disorder. How is BEN diagnosed? Routine complete blood count, CBC tests, may reveal a lower than average neutrophil count. Genetic testing for the Duffy antigen status can confirm whether BEN is likely. Reviewing family history is crucial, as BEN tends to run in families. Treatment. No treatment is needed for BEN because it is not a disease. If a doctor is unfamiliar with BEN, they might recommend unnecessary medications, so seeking a second opinion from a hematologist can be helpful. If you have a chronic illness like lupus, your doctor may monitor your neutrophil levels more closely to rule out other autoimmune-related blood disorders. Understanding BEN and the Duffy antigen is important for proper medical care, especially for people of African descent who might have been told they have low white blood cells without further explanation. I hope today's episode has shed some light on this topic. Have you or a loved one been told you have benign ethnic neutropenia or found out you carry the Duffy antigen? I'd love to hear your experiences in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to spread awareness about this important topic. Help us reach 500 subscribers. Until next time, take care and stay informed.